Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are again with me. Here's Miss Kudriyah. Good morning, students. Before we start our lessons, let's pray together. Pray start. Pray finish. Okay, so how was your day, all students? I know we all here knowing that we are happening in this pandemic COVID-19. So it's really okay. We can't stay at home at this situation that is happening. It's better to stay safe. Okay? I hope all of you still can study using all of your devices. So let's have a fun study with this online class. And now for today's lesson, we will begin at new chapter. It is the chapter 2. So all of you, please open your textbook on chapter 2. Before we start, I want to recall all our last subject in the previous chapter. At the previous chapter, we have learned about communication in how to get attention, to check if we are understood, to show appreciations, and to tell what we or other people thinks of something. And for this new chapter 2, we will learn about how to state that we can do something and to state that we will do something. And for what we will learn first is about the social functions of it, of the transactional interactions involving the act of giving and acting information related to the ability and willingness to take an action. So, this material is very important for us. It's also because we always has been use it in our daily life, not just us, but widely use it. So the social function in our daily life is to keep the harmonizations in all social activities by asking and giving information of willingness and the ability to do something in the proper ways. So we can look at the page 20. As you can see, there are very much conversation of asking and giving of this material. So from those conversations, let's read together first. From the first conversations, Benny, can you write the message in English? And it answered, I don't think I can, but I will try. And for the second conversation, Siti, I think you can ask me the question in English. I'm not sure, but I will try. So that the conversations from the first conversations, that is conversation 1 and conversation 2. So from that conversation, we can see that the first speaker in conversation 1 is asking a willingness, and so that Benny is giving the answer related to giving willingness. So same also for the second conversation. So now we know how we can ask and giving information of willingness in a proper ways. So student, by looking at those example conversations, we can also identify the proper ways of asking and giving information of willingness by trying identify each words of those example conversations, such as in the first conversations, there is Benny, can you write the message in English? And it answered, I don't think I can, but I will try. So from that conversation, we can see that for the asking conversation in the proper ways is using can, and for the giving is using I will. For the asking ability information is the proper way is using can, and for the giving is in I will. And now from that we know how to asking and giving information of willingness in a proper ways. Also same for all of you students. You are also using this kind of sentence in our daily life or on your daily life, such as here's Lala. You Lala asking willingness to Bobby and Bobby like say it, Lala like say to Bobby, can you buy me some milk a canteen? And Baby answered to Lala, I have to go to teacher office, but I will buy it after that. It's what we call it the social functions of our daily life because as it's just a simple conversation between two people or more, but it contains a valuable meaning in it. It is the willingness of the Bobby to buy milk for Lala. So until now, do you all understand what I mean? What meaning willingness it means itself for our social functions in our daily life? So okay, that's from the conclusion, or what we can conclude, or what we can see from the first conversations, like first and seconds, and the page, in that page. So let's move on the next page. It's also shows us examples of conversations. So now we will read it first together to know what kind of conversation it is. So let's read together. Like in the third conversations, there is like one boy and one girl saying and having conversations, and the boy said first, will you sing an English song in Miss Nani's birthday? I know you can, that the boy said. And the girl answered, okay, I will. But why not you? You can sing too, can't you? That's the example for the third conversations. And there is some more for the 4 and the 5. So we will read together and we will know what kind of conversation is that. So read it first for the fourth conversation. Lina, sorry, I cannot come on time to the meeting. And Lina answered, you can't? I know you can, you just will not do it. That's the kind of conversation and the fourth conversations. And so the last example conversations is the boy and the girl stood. Siri, can you return the book to the library for me, please? And Siri answered, certainly I can, and I will. That's the example of some more example of conversations. And for now, we can see those conversations are more long than the previous one. Why? Why is more long? Why is it? Because it's not just a content material of willingness, but also the ability of people that they ask for each other. For example, in a conversation tree, there are words, will you, and I know you can. In the first speaker, for will you is revert to asking willingness, and for I know you can is revert to giving ability. And in the second speaker, there are I will that revert to giving willingness, and you can too, can't you, that revert to asking ability. That's the example from the third conversations. So that's why we can see for each, it's by identifying each word from those conversations, we can see what kind of purposes, what kind of social function that they were using. That's what it calls. It has a social function in every sentence that I have delivered. And also looking at our daily life, all our daily life student activities, we also having such that conversation. For example, here you are Ahmad and Farah. Ahmad said to Farah, can you be leader for this group? I know you can lead us, said Ahmad. And Farah answered, okay, I will. But Ahmad, why not you? You can be the leader for a group, can't you? So that's the example of our daily life that all of you have experienced that you have experienced in your daily life. Like if you are given an assignment to work in a group and have to choose who is the leader, it's usually happen, right? That one of you, even Sarah said that even she willing to be the leader, but she also believed that Ahmad having ability to be the leader of group. So she is asking, why not just Ahmad to be the leader, even she is willing. she just giving the ability to Ahmad, and Ahmad also giving the ability to, or asking a willingness to Farah. So students, if you have questions related to those materials, you can ask me. Try to ask whatever that disturbs you in your mind, that is also for you better understanding of today's materials. About this social function of transactional interactions involving the act of giving and asking information related to the ability and willingness to do something in the proper ways. All of you have to have a better understanding this is materials today, today's materials, because for the next meeting we will be having a deeper understanding in the asking and giving information related to ability and willingness. So this is just starting that we have to understand the social functions. We also, for the next meeting, we can have to understand about the structure itself, how this is language is compound or is math. So if you have more questions you can disturb me or ask me right away. So students, I think that's all the message that I'll deliver to you all now, and now I want you all to make a resume or a note of the important information that I've been delivered. Start from what is the social functions, how it's used, and how it is used in the proper ways. From that note, a resume that will be your review at home of what have you been learned at this class today, is to recall all what have you been listened, and also to keep you remember for all of those materials. I'm saying this also the social function of giving the ability. That means I know you have the ability to understand all the materials by reviewing them all again and again. And also after that, I will give you some assignment that you can do it at your home. It is in a page 22 until 24. It says that you have to know the social functions and the sentences that given in a page 23, and you can answer it all by format in the page 24. That's the example format. How to do it. It is an easy task if you all understand all the material that I delivered to you all today. For the assignment, and have to submit it at our next meeting next week. Again, I inform you, if you have any problem or difficulties, you can tell me right away. So for the leader of the class, Ahmed, I want you to manage all the assignment next week. So before the class start, I want you all to gather all your friends' work at my desk. Okay, Ahmad? So student, I think that's all for today's materials, and we have to end this class by saying Alhamdulillah together. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. For all students, please stay at home and stay safe. Thank you for today. See you next week. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.